Tzipora Greenfield live in a house in the village of Ein Karem, just 10 minutes' drive from Jerusalem. By investing their love and their warmth, they have managed to create a harmonious and beautiful home, a home where the physical surroundings both reflect and foster harmonious relations among family members.
I'm a morning bird.
The Greenfield family has made their dream a daily reality because each person contributes his or her special talents and qualities.
This is Yemenite coffee. Yemenite coffee is coffee with some spices.
Who's going to get this good coffee?
It's hack.
Almost died, but it's all right. Yeah, you know, you saw this.
Yitzhak Greenfield is an artist who was born in Brooklyn, New York, and moved to Israel some 30 years ago. He first lived in a kibbutz in the north of the country, until he and his new wife Tzipora moved to Ein Karem.
I felt that the space that this area gave me, this particular space, was most suited for my work needs. And it gave me an opportunity to have adequate workspace and also enough perspective on my own work if I wanted to see it. And this is very important for me. Okay, but I think this is the direction that we want. Use both of them, the big one and the small one to correct it, okay? This room and the large room we'll go into in a moment, which is an exhibition area, it's really the biggest part of the house. Actually, the subject of my work really is Jerusalem. And this room shows some of the highlights of what I'm trying to do. It took me a number of years to even be brave enough to approach the landscape of Jerusalem, because I really was not interested in what I call a reporter's or a tourist's view of Jerusalem.
Tzipora Shibahi Greenfield was born in Rishon LeZion to parents who arrived to Israel from Yemen in 1929. Tzipora's father, a rabbi, in addition to his family, brought 20 orphans with him from Yemen and saw to it that each one made an appropriate marriage.
Actually, when we came to Ein Karem, we found this old mill, and this wheel was one of the grindstones of the flour mill. It was a flour mill and an olive oil factory. It was abandoned and in terrible disarray and terrible neglect. It was really a house that was taken off the map, and there was an X saying, destroyed, abandoned house. And we proved to them that the house existed by repairing it, by taking a year or two of our lives and stopping everything and devoting it to the repair of the house. And in many ways, the house in Ein Karem became the stronghold of every individual in the family.
Of the 5 Greenfield children, only Boaz is religiously observant. He is interested in Kabbalah and studies at a yeshiva in Jerusalem. At home, he takes responsibility for the gardening.
It's very important for me to work in the garden, even as a hobby, just because I feel that it gives me a stronger feeling of the land of Israel. So I like it just as it is, with the weeds and with everything. And it's kind of half wild, because I feel it's respect for what we have and what is ours. This is my room. It looks like kind of empty, but it's just like my life, it's still very incomplete.
His mother's Sephardi-style Judaism has more appeal for Boaz than his father's Western or Ashkenazi tradition.
I'm attracted to the style of the Yemenite Jews because I find it very live and very appealing to me. And it really caused me to go and study Judaism.
Tzipora appears before audiences in a show where, with story and song, she passes on what she has learned about Yemenite heritage.
A young man fell in love with a girl. So she said, I don't want you because you are not from our place and you are not my relative.
Tzipora still speaks with her mother in Arabic. Often she questions her about Yemenite customs and traditions.
I can say that my mother has a very important position in our family. She's feeling a great obligation and a great responsibility as an educator and as a woman at home, and sharing things with the men in the family on an equal level. This is what I feel, and this is what she transferred to me, and this is how I try to run my home.
Hamutal is 20. She and her carpenter husband Oded and their one-year-old daughter Netta also live in the family house.
We manage very well living in this house together. It doesn't always work, but in this situation it works very well because we all have our own privacy and we respect each other very much. And Oded is a very nice person. His relationship with my father is very good. He's like a son to him.
Oded is one of 18 children. Behind the Greenfield house, he has realized his dream of setting up a carpentry shop.
Because we had only one room in this house, and then we had Netta, we decided that Oded will build the second floor. And so he did. He built all this by himself in 1 week, and it came out very well, and we're very happy. We think it gives us more space for ourselves, and for Netta, it gives her her own room downstairs.
Avishai, 28, is the oldest child. He's come to spend his vacation with the family.
Now I live in a room, but not in this house. It's on East 26th Street in Manhattan, New York. And I live there now because I study theater and work in the theater in New York. And try to somehow keep in touch with this house via telephone and visits every once in a while. I feel that as a theater artist, I will be much more involved, and it'll be much more part of myself to work in Israel rather than working in New York, where I would always feel alienated and an outsider.
We tried to make the house into a home and, we'll say, a workplace, a place for creative work. And I must say that I think we succeeded in doing this. And the house is very important to us individually, important to all of the kids also.